And we are live with another episode of Collaborate and Pull Together. On this week's episode, we got John Hutchison of Garage Grinders Gym in Florida. My longtime rival from Florida. I met him down in Puerto Rico. We were at the Puerto Rico Armwrestling League kickoff event, King of Puerto Rico. This man definitely put me through the ringer. It's an honor to have you on here, man. This is a podcast where we like to highlight all things positive, on and off the table, all the endeavors that you guys you're doing down in Florida. I've taken notice, man. But welcome, man. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's about time, right?
Yep. It's about time.
Haven't chatted in a while, so.
Yeah, I met you back in January of 2024 for the King of Puerto Rico event. It was back when Puerto Rico Arm Wrestling League was ran by Brandon Lee. And yours truly helped out, and another person from Puerto Rico helped out and got us in there. And we went from that to what I've seen. I think he handed it off to Mikey Oliva, right?
Yep. Yeah, he handed off to Mikey is what I believe. Man, that first event though out there, that had to be the coolest tournament I've ever been to in my entire life. With the energy, I've never seen nothing like it. I haven't been to one since. The way it was out there, I've never been in a thrill situation quite like that since like my high school wrestling days. It was.
I gotta say the energy in Puerto Rico is unmatched, unrivaled, in my opinion. If you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, No Team Arm Wrestling they're the hype guys. Kong, he was on that mic, and he was blasting away on that mic by way of energy. They throw out practices, events, and tournaments. They're my guys down in Puerto Rico. Anything that I ever need from, a Puerto Rican arm wrestling entity, these are the guys that I go to. They've come up here to New York to support my events. They've come out all the way over here for float therapy sessions. These guys are the real deal. I have much love and appreciation in their way.
Yeah, there's a lot of monsters out there. I mean, you got Kong, Adam, Sadiel, Wesley, Carly's coming off the injury. I mean, you got Miguel.
Yeah.
I mean, Alejandro.
Lewis.
Lewis. Oh, yeah, Lewis. I mean, geez, that guy.
That guy is like literally listen, this dude is one of the strongest dudes pound for pound that I've ever met. And I think he's going to be going down to Costa Rica. And he's going to be, representing Puerto Rico down there. So best of luck to him.
He's a monster, dude.
Yeah, he is. I'd like to introduce you to Steve Fernandez, John. This is the guy that's the man behind the curtain with New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling. He's the guy who helped, bring the City Slickers to life. The events that we're going to be coming down to all different areas of the states, and as well as people coming over to us. So thank you for joining us, Steve.
How you doing?
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. We're hearing a lot of good things about you, John, man. You're a hell of a fucking puller, man, huh?
I do okay.
He's a fucking monster. What do you don't sell yourself short, man.
Yeah, I hold my own sometimes.
We're gonna have to put something together, man.
I'm down for it.
We were thinking about something in July. I know Mikey reached out to me. Unfortunately, it might be the 4th of July weekend. So if that doesn't work out, we'll figure something out.
Oh, yeah, it's got to happen again. It's too close not to.
It was too close not. I gotta say, out of my entire arm wrestling career, it was the closest match that I've ever been in. And I threw everything but the kitchen sink at this dude. I won one, he won one. I won one, he won one. It was just back and forth.
Yeah, and we were a lot lighter then. You got up to like 166 day of, and I was like 172. And right now, I've actually lost about 4 pounds, but I'm like 190 right now on the scale. So there's a difference, and you're in the 180s now, correct? So
176, yeah.
So it'll be a good one. I don't know. I think I'm too strong, but
nah, you're not strong enough. Because dude, I was 154. I was 154 the literally month prior to that, and I jumped to 166 within like a month and a half type of deal, and I got my, I got some work put into, into me on that day, but I realized how much stronger I needed to be to, smash a John Zilla, and I got to tell you, I don't know if you got the smoke, man. I don't know if you got what it takes.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good. The elbow, I've only competed one time right-handed since then. It was like a month later, and something went out in my elbow when I was finishing a pin. I was going to press, and I got drugged underneath, and when I did, something in my elbow, I don't know, it got hot, felt like it, something tore maybe. And ever since then, I've had no side pressure. But finally, it's coming back. So I got a practice match tomorrow night, just to see how it holds up, because I haven't been able to slip or anything since then. I've had to do only strap pulling. So, but I think it's feeling good. Like, it's feeling a lot better. So, and I've learned how to pull differently now. So I'm really strong in some good areas. So I feel good about it. Feel really good about it.
You better on the strap, you better out of the strap.
I used to be a lot better out of the strap, and I got humbled in California by Caleb Armbinder.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I got humbled by Caleb because I used to be a bicep dominant puller. So outside the strap, I would take hands and just, I'd pin them or whatever. And I got that close several times to him. But in the strap with the lat engagement, he just ripped me open every time. I didn't understand it. So I spent a lot of time in the strap since then, because that was a terrible feeling. So now I'd say I'm just as good in the strap. I still have a dominant hand, so outside the strap, it's still, I get a lot of, if I'm a flash pin somewhere, it's outside the strap usually. But in the strap, I'm pretty confident in the strap.
He's definitely a strong man in the strap. Definitely a strong man. Very capable. I'll attest to that. And I'm sure he's gotten only stronger since last time we faced.
Yeah, I've actually only pulled in the strap right-handed for at least 6 months.
Oh, man.
I haven't actually had a real pull outside the strap since. So
yeah, I think the last win you had on me, you kept me out of the straps to avoid that.
Yeah, well, the first one went to the straps, and I was like, oh no, that's not good. And then the second one went, and that's where I stopped at the bottom. And if it wasn't for John Theron being a really good down ref there and being right at eye level, it would have got called a pin, I'm sure. Because if you were looking from the top, it was going to be a pin. But he was right there looking, and then I was able to get the stop at the very bottom in the strap, and then you pinned me in the strap again. I was like, nah. So I kept you out of the strap and got you underneath me, caught you way outside, and then finally broke through your arm. And then the last time, I just hit sideways as hard as I could because I had nothing left. I was dead. I just
threw everything out there,
and I just went, and I was hoping that you couldn't get away in time, and it worked out for me. I was excited, and then I got destroyed after that. I was so dead tired.
I remember that.
Down, and hold on one second.
Oh.
Sorry. My kid was going to bed, so I checked my phone. But yeah, so I was so dead after that. I was trying not to throw up, and that was tough. I had no idea how hard 2 matches would be in the same day. That if one of them ended up being a match that hard, and I found out because as soon as I went to pull Wesley, I couldn't even focus up there, man. I was so lost, like my headspace was gone, and I went inside with him. And then I was like, I didn't know what to do next. I was just so out of it, and he just ran through me. I was dead. That's why I didn't.
Your central nervous system, right?
Yeah, it destroyed me because I'm not a good flyer as well. So just flying out there, kind of like the added tax on the body, the stress,
Did you pull the next day after you flew?
No, I got there Thursday, but
we pulled Saturday.
We pulled Saturday morning, but. It was, it's still a thing I have to adjust to because in California, I lost 6 pounds going out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I lost a couple going to Puerto Rico. It wasn't as bad, though. It was a lot more comfortable there. So I'm getting better at it, but I didn't grow up flying, so it's kind of just a weird thing, but it is what it is. You got to adapt.
Shorter flight.
Yeah. I'm ready to go back.
So give us a little bit of history. How'd you get into arm wrestling?
Oh, man, I got into arm wrestling. So I've always competed one-on-one, like I started wrestling in 3rd grade. And then I went through that, did through high school, did weightlifting, did powerlifting meets and stuff, even did cross country because it was kind of like me by myself. I'm not a big fan of like team sports are fun to watch when it's like football and stuff, but I like when it's just me and all the it's all on me. So if I go out there and lose, it's on me. It isn't because you didn't do your jobs because I didn't do mine. So
That's cool.
I continued after high school, just weightlifting and stuff. I'd go to some gyms and do some training and stuff, like some ground game stuff basically. I wasn't trying to be like an MMA fighter or nothing, I don't want to get beat up too bad, but I like training, that's just what I like to do. So I'd go up there and just hang out with those guys. And then it got to where my neck, I have an issue with some compressed disc in my neck. I'm dealing with some issues right now actually, but so when you wrestle, a lot of times it's snapping people down and it's a lot of stress on the neck. And it got to where I would be in so much pain afterwards, I had to kind of stop. So I think it was probably about 4 years ago. I was watching YouTube one night and lo and behold, I saw Travis Bajan on there. And I'm like, who's this guy? And he's talking all that shit, and it's so good. And he's just smashing people. And I'm like, man, that looks pretty cool. I bet I could do that. So then I got the bug, started going through the wormhole, watching him and John and Devin and all that stuff. And watched it for a couple months. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I had an old toolbox, like a little roll car I used for work. And I had it in my garage. And my buddy came over. We started trying to arm wrestle on that. And
awesome.
and all the bad positions, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to find anybody. I didn't have social media at the time. So I was just like, okay. So then I found the arm bet thing, found a guy named Steven Tarr that lives close to me. You might know as, he's the vegan on Facebook,
Yep.
everyone knows him. But he showed up to every one of my practices. He's been true the whole time since we started. He's kind of like my right-hand guy. And then after that, it just kind of got to where I went to a tournament like 4 months in. I'm pretty strong. I pulled amateurs. It was 2021 at King of Florida, which is Florida's usually biggest like tournament besides Mayhem, but it's my favorite to go to. And Brandon was running it. Didn't know him at the time. I went in there, pulled amateur, went 0-2 left and 1-2 on the right, and I was like, holy cow, I got work to do. So, and then I finally got to where I met George Whitfield. I met some guys in Lakeland, Florida, and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, my team started to grow because I, was able to branch out finally. And then I didn't pull my first like pro super match until the end of 2022. I took a whole year off just to train and figure out what the heck I was doing. Because I felt like I was a long way like on the table technically. And then I pulled that, got beat by Robbie Bishop, both hands. He's a monster. He just beat Austin Collins right-handed 3-2. So he's a bad dude. And
definitely a strong dude.
Yeah, and then I went to where I've been doing pretty good since. Took some losses to some guys like on the left arm, anyways. Usually I compete with. So I've lost to Sadiel a couple times. George.
Sadiel's a monster though.
Yeah.
And George.
Yeah. Jerry Labrino, who's a monster. I've lost, Austin Wade, guys like that are just complete inhuman animals. I've lost to those guys, but I've done pretty well against the majority on the left. On the right, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I show up and I'm like really good. Like the day I pulled you was the best I've ever been. Like it just worked out. It was the only time my right's ever been better than my left, and it was that day, and I was really happy about it.
Well, it's got to get better then.
Yeah, that's really respectable. Hey, you got to give him that much respect for him to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely. Listen, it felt like a lot of people
don't. A lot of people don't usually, say anything like that because they want to kind of keep, I was, a little hurt here, a little hurt, but him to say that, I give you a lot of respect for saying that, man. Yeah, 100%.
My right was phenomenal that day. Like even going into it, I was training with George. Like me and him, we wouldn't even just pull; we would just grip up and the strap on the table because I knew Dan had a strong hand, and I've heard about it from other guys down there and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, arm to arm, I have to be stronger, but I got to get it there. So, and I figured he's more technically sound than me. Like he has more experience, anyways. So I was like, well, I just got to get it inside, or at least turn his pronation a little bit, because his hands gonna be super strong. Usually I don't lose the hand battle, but I figured on my right I'd have an issue. But even gripping up with George, we just grip up all the time, just feel how tight it was. And he said going into it that my right was very strong. And it basically, if I lost, I figured it was going to be Dan was just way too much, or my nerves were going to try and get in the way, but they didn't. And I felt really comfortable out there, and I felt really good. I was really happy with that. But I've never been so sore. My ribs and everything were so sore the next day. My side, my leg, from a lot twisting. But yeah, and ever since then, I've been going at it. I haven't competed since August at the Sarah Backman Classic. Had a really good showing there at 170. And then I just kind of took some time off recently to try and heal up and just take the mental break from training all the time. I've still been in the gym lifting, bench press, squats, rows and stuff, but I haven't been doing a ton of actual table training. I just started again actually recently because I needed some time off to the elbow heal up and just, it's kind of like, I guess, an off season. If you train year round, or sometimes it gets to where you're in this continuous process and you're just repetitive training, and it's almost like you're going nowhere. You're going through the motions, and I like to go in there and get really serious. So I'm kind of easing back into that. If I hurt, I don't train. That's something I'm doing now instead of trying to push through it and just being in more pain for weeks. But I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm going to see tomorrow where I'm at, this little practice match I have.
So as by way of inspirations, man, what would you say is your number one, like, go-to person for knowledge base, inspiration in sport? Like, who's the guy that motivates you the most?
Oof, man. If it goes to knowledge, it would have to be between my buddy Maverick. He's the long, tall, handsome Italian guy that I arm wrestle with, or Brandon Morris. I mean, he's taught me a lot on the table and about how to compete and how to not get in your own way and how to be a dog. So he's done a lot for me. When it comes to like on the table training inspiration, it's got to be George. Just
Gotcha.
just grabbing a hold of something like that, and how he's one of them guys that's super humble. So he'll let you get in your position. He's not just, he knows he's better, and he won't say it, but he knows he is, and he'll let you get to where you need to be and really let you work. But he'll also humble you real quick just by adding a little bit, and showing you that there is levels. But that's something that I'm always chasing him, but I'm not in a hurry to try and beat him, It's just
I guess Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
Yeah, and trying to catch someone like that, man, oh my goodness. If you never gripped up with him, good luck.
I never got to get a chance to grip up with him when I was down in Puerto Rico. I actually want to. I know he's probably leaps and bounds beyond me, but I know he's got a match coming up against
Jeff.
Yeah, that's going to be a freaking...
Yeah, so George is ranked, I think, 9th in the nation on in the hook. And Jeff is ranked 18th in the nation and on the right in the hook. And Jeff is one of the strongest people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, he's the kind of guy that won't bench press for 2 years and can still rep 315. You know what I mean? Like, he's a freak. I mean, I've heard him. He was curling, basically almost my body weight the other day for a set of 5.
Jesus.
And he's just he's wider than he is tall. He's a freak, and if he sets that hook, you got to be a high level guy to get through it. I felt it. He just drags me wide open. It ain't even close, right-handed. I try to make it close, and I can set back my full drag, and he can just set it on and just go, But same thing with George. I put George as a favorite in that match for sure, just because what he's done. I've seen him run through Dustin Hyatt and guys like that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah. But man, if Jeff can sink his spot, oh my gosh. It's a deadly place to be, and it can get ugly real quick, man. I've seen it. I've seen people keep him out of it, run through him, but then I've seen if he sets it and he gets his shoulder in the right place, oh my God, it's a bad day. So I'm excited to see it. I train with both guys. George is on my team, and Jeff's part of the pro gear with Mikey Oliva, Sarah Backman, all them guys and girls. And but we always train together and stuff too. But man, that's a high level match. That's some strong guys right there.
I look forward to seeing it. I think it's gonna be a banger of a match. I got a chance to grip up with Jeff down in Tennessee recently, and
it's terrible.
He felt, oh my God, it was not a fun ride. It was a ride nonetheless. Like I literally felt he was gonna pull me right through the table. I never felt like that from somebody his size before. You know,
Yeah,
he's got some insane power.
yeah, his hand's not even that big or nothing, but
you're really deceiving too, Dan. I mean, you're not.
yes.
You're one to talk, Dan. Yeah, I mean, because you do not look like the type of person, especially with your hand, that you'd be able to, pretty much hold and take in and not be able to do anything with. You mean those last 3 fingers that you have, that lock that you have in your hand is like no other.
Hand.
And I'm sure you can.
It's little.
Attest to that, John. I mean that.
Yes.
When you pull Dan, it's on a different level. His hand is you don't expect what you're going to get. Let's say that much.
Yeah, it was it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And another thing is your hand's not super wide, right? And that's almost the benefit, because sometimes guys with big, strong hands, it'll come down to like almost your wrist line. So you can almost with the fat part of the hand, it'll almost hit there, so you can have
He's got a small hand.
So your hand almost sits like a little bit above the wrist line. So when you hit, it's almost like all the pressure's out and the knuckles, rather than, I can absorb some through my side pressure. It's like I have to come with it, and I figured that out round 1. And when you were set up high and tight and just kind of went like this, I was like, oh my God. That's not the lane. Had to find a new lane, try something different. But yeah, and even outside the strap, I mean, I was full back pressure, like in this open top roll, because you just drugged me open. And I have a lock down here too, which is really cool. It paid off. But those fingers, I was like, it won't crack. So I was just trying to wait it out until you had to take a breath. But yeah, I remember how strong your hand was, and that's something I'm definitely thinking about going into that next time. Yeah, that's
well. I know how strong that bicep is, and so I know something to think about. To the next time, I do not want to be near that thing ever again.
Yeah, it's going there, for sure. It's going there.
It's definitely. You like to go inside, John?
It's kind of screwed up. On the right arm, I feel very versatile, because I'm not a perfectionist at any one area. Especially, I think it's just due because I've been injured the whole time. Like everything, even before arm wrestling, I had an injury to the brachialis, where I can, like, when I'm lifting, I can feel it like vibrate sometimes. It's weird, but it'll cause my back pressure to change sometimes. And then now that's okay for the most part, but now it's side pressure. So, I can do back pressure. I can shoot inside. I can press. I can flop. I think I had to do all that to beat Dan. I think I had to hit every move. But
Dan's really versatile too. On top of it, man, he can go inside. Now I think he's got even more power than he did before inside, and his side pressure is fucking stupid right now. His top roll was always good, so that was something to always worry about. But I'm saying, in general, I think he's got a lot of other things technically that he worked on that he got so well that I think when people think that they can test him even inside or even give him some side pressure, I think it's deceiving, man. Dan's really got a lot more behind him than people think.
Yeah.
Well, that match with you, John, actually inspired the side pressure training tenfold, because that was where you got me. You got me out of side pressure. I was like, I'm never gonna let someone catch me like that again.
Yeah,
that's what I trade. If I could press the side pressure, side pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I had to finish the first one that I pinned was almost like I had to go to a flop. And then the second time I pinned you, I had to go to a shoulder roll because I was stuck here. I was basically throwing baseballs across the table, just trying to rip you out, trying to rip your arm clean off is what I was trying to do, because it was so tight. I felt like your tendons were just so tight. I was like, this thing's got to open up because I'm tired. And then the final one, I'm going sideways and I hope nothing breaks because I was dead. And but yeah, you're super strong, dude. Like, and it's to see. I mean, even when you went to Tennessee, you were in that match. Was it right hand or left hand? Was it Joe Rogers?
Yeah, it was right-handed Joe Rogers.
Man, you were that close, and he's an animal. But you were you were directly inside, and you two were banging, and he couldn't get through you. And I was like, oh shit, like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
that's going inside.
And that's going inside and not initiating the hook. Mind you. That was me jumping into a hook after starting with like a top roll setup. And because since then I've been working on engaging a hook a lot faster. And it's definitely paid off pretty well in practice. You know,
Well,
uh,
if you're going to the hook, it's always better to set it right rather than to be the guy who gets set on. Because in the top roll, you'll
yeah,
end up out here,
Yeah.
and then if you set the hook, you can stay tight. But on my left, I can top roll or hook. I've been working on the hook quite a bit. Like I haven't even trained back pressure hardly at all. Like I'm just setting hooks all day because I feel like side pressure. Like I had so much back pressure before, it almost get to where I get one dimensional on the table. And
mm-hmm.
I would just be,
I
I'm
know
so
that.
good at going backwards that I wouldn't protect my sideways anymore. And I've lost some matches because of that, to some really strong guys. But I feel like if I would just apply more, here, then I could keep them out of their shoulders. So, and my hook's not bad. It ain't Jeff Bochar's hook, but it's getting a lot stronger and it's helping my top roll. So I've had some big wins on some big guys recently. The Sarah Backman Classic where I had a really good showing there, and a lot of it was attested to me starting to train a lot more inside, and I was able just to crash over them. So I think it's working.
Well, you got
But
that long ass arm too to
yeah,
get the
man,
leverage.
these things.
Freaking wingspan like a fucking eagle.
Yeah.
Real quick though, I just want to shout out a couple people who are in the chat. We got Drew. Thank you for tuning in, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. Lucky. What's up, Lucky?
David Shubich.
Drew Shubich. We got Drew Rivers.
Yeah, Drew. Shit, man, he's a really good upcoming competitor. Really nice.
Brian Parliament from Canada.
Weak wrists. What's up, Brian?
What's up, Brian? How's it going, man? Who else we got in here? Did I miss anybody yet? Oh, Carolyn Lumens. Oh, Carolyn, one of the OG fan of arm wrestling that became an arm wrestler. I think she's still training. She's awesome. Yeah. Awesome energy. She's a very big time supporter of the sport. Everybody who's looking to support the sport, look to her example. Mm-hmm. Let's see who else we got. I think that's about it. Everybody that we got. Thank you guys so much. Now, for somebody who's just coming into the sport of arm wrestling, because we covered a lot of bases, we covered a lot about your history and what your goals are, what you got coming up. What advice would you give someone just starting out in sports?
Oh man, if I had it then. If I was coming into the sport, first thing I would do is get on social media, and find practices. Like multiple practices. But the only hard part about finding the right practice is, some people have egos, some don't. If you find the right people, like a lot of guys I train with don't have an ego, so you can sit there and you can, they teach you the right way, but if you can find a good group to train with off the bat and actually kind of figure out what you're doing and go slow, don't jump into dashing for pins and stuff. Just learn that center table and what the heck you're supposed to do and how it operates. Like if I'm going this way, what are you doing to stop it, kind of thing. I think that's probably the most important thing. That's what I was doing wrong, and I was in a lot of pain for a while just doing the wrong stuff. It paid off, I guess, but I could have approached it differently and got to a higher level much faster, I think, and be higher than I am now. And just take your time, train. Don't train if you're hurting too bad. Like I try to push through, like those, beginner pains where, you're laying there at night, 2:00 in the morning, and your bones hurt and your ligaments hurt and you're just throbbing, aching. You're like, it's got to be broken,
Yep.
And then the next day you go try and do these stupid heavy lifts that you don't need to do. Like, if I bench press today, I don't bench press tomorrow, right? So I would just go slower and trust your bands. Yes, and trust your bands. I think I was at my best ever just mainly training bands. The only thing I was training with a puller for arm wrestling was cupping. Other than that, I was just doing a lot of band work, and that's where I felt the tightest, the strongest, because I don't think the weight translates directly, because most people I see train in a way and they lift these weights in a way they don't arm wrestle, right? So even if I'm doing a side pressure lift, some guys train their side pressure like out here, which is cool if they're doing the drag hook, and they're out there. I train mine here because I like, that's where I arm wrestle. I try and arm wrestle in this range. So out here I might have a different lift number and it could be higher. But
I do an open side pressure, so that's a little bit more. But even when I train like that. So to get comfortable to, you know what I mean, have that motion because I have that sticky spot right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think you just need to train in the way you arm wrestle and don't worry about if this guy's doing 120, you're doing 60, but the way you're doing it and the handle you're using could manipulate it. Like a lot of people put these handles down on their wrist line and they're doing these like 90-pound movements, these 100-pound movements. But if I used a small D handle and I'm putting it up here in the top of my calluses and I'm doing it with 40 pounds and my wrist's not cracking, I feel comfortable about that rather than 100 pounds here on my wrist because it's like everything.
Difference.
Yeah, and when I train like that, and I think if you can find a way to use a lighter weight and put it in a way where it still attacks the same area, but it's still, the 5 reps is still hard regardless of what the weight you're using, then the injury risk is much less. In my, at least from what I found out, the way I train. Yeah. So some guys have no problem just ripping weights across there and stuff, but I've been working out for 18 years now, and I got plenty of issues to where I try to avoid injury because there's nothing worse than someone that loves the gym that can't lift.
That's a crucial piece of advice, man, for anybody who's just starting out. It's something that I always encourage people.
Slow.
Take it slow. Take your time with it. There's a reason why someone like John Brzezinski has been doing this for decades on end, right? Mm-hmm. It's not because he went to the gym and did some freaking ego lifts to see where he can go at type of deal. It's, it does take that slow and steady wins the race mentality.
Yeah. You got to train in the positions that you want to be good at. I see a lot of guys in practice, they're here like in the, you're late into practice, you're really hanging out with the guys, doing the fun stuff when everybody's weak I don't have a problem with that. I'll throw in a King's move at end of practice and stuff because we're all so tired. We're not really going to get hurt because it's kind of like, whatever. But, being in practice, I try and stay like in this really tight range, which is something that I actually got from Sarah Backman. I train with her sometimes and she comes over and I've never seen her arm open up. And I got to where I'm like, man, and she's so strong everywhere. So I was watching her. I was like, you know what? That's kind of like the way I need to be because I'll let myself get too opened up. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just get like, you just ripped me open. I had to get to stop. But I try and train in this area and strictly in this area. I try not to get opened up. I try and stay right and tight.
That's what I'm saying. I try to stay here. And you know what I mean? Because I press. I try to stay tight. But even what happened the last tournament, I pressed and then he opened me up. So I had to. Where I caught him. And that's the only spot where I could beat him. You know what I mean? I ended up beating him in the press, but that's after it was so many times of being in that position and doing, keep on putting more side pressure until he gave in, and then it was the last fucking round. And then obviously I pressed him, but it was more on, I couldn't press him in the beginning because he was just opening me up. He was just top rolling the shit out of me as soon as I pressed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's 100% exceptions to it, right? I mean, you're going to end up in these weird spots and you should definitely, I guess, train them, but not at an intensity to make that your move. I see a lot of guys, they get here and they start doing this drag underneath thing.
I stop them. I'm like, stop.
I do too. I'm like, okay, well, you're there and we're all strong like this, right? Because everything's strong before it breaks. That's when it's tested at full capacity. Right. So I try and keep the guys that, that are coming into it. There's a lot of guys who are way smarter than me I practice with, but when I see it, I'm just like, you start dragging underneath like that, you're just dragging yourself into a worse position. Yeah. I'm like, learn to come forward, and get in there, stay behind your shoulder, train the way you want to be good at, not to train the way you're strong at necessarily when you're starting out. Like if you want to be, watch YouTube and mimic the guys that are really good at where are they arm wrestling at. If they're here, don't be training out here, like if that's what you want to try and do. And you'll find your lane. Where you're good, because everybody's good in weird spots. Some guys are just like, this is where I'm really strong. I can just do this. Okay, cool. But I don't know. I just think I see a lot of people getting opened up and they're hanging off their bicep and down there and they're brand new. I walk, if they don't listen, I just walk away. I'm like, oh my God.
That's fair. One of the things that, I got to tell all the new guys, like, don't replicate too much what you see on what Devin does, because he's had to do a lot of shit that to get to where he is today. So He's like, oh, I saw this video on Devin. I want to replicate. I'm like, well, hold
Not the
hold
guy
the
I was
horses.
talking about.
Like,
Don't mimic him or Michael Todd.
Don't mimic
They're
him.
specialists.
You know,
Yeah.
like we have a lot of good. There's a lot of good
Traditional
information out
European
there.
pullers are good to mimic. You know.
Yeah, like I gotta say, I like watching Coach Ray's stuff because he returns it. I love watching his stuff. It's returns it back to basic. Giannis,
I like
Mullins.
Zoloft. Those Russian guys, and all of them. Yeah, just all the ones that pull right. I'm a big fan of Justin Bishop. I like the way he arm wrestles.
Yes, Bishop too. Bishop was another one that I do.
Yeah, and I study his videos he puts out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try, you study it and you're like, okay, I got it, and then you try to mimic it, and you're like, that's a lot harder than it looks. He does it they do it so easy. All their setups and their hook versus top roll stuff. If you're new and you're just starting out, or anyone that's experienced, even because a lot of people don't know, but it's arm wrestling, they're strong, right? But if you really want to like understand it, them guys break it down the best on his YouTube. Like for me, anyways, it makes the most sense watching him. And if I can take 10% of a video and at least remember that, then I'm pretty happy with it. So those guys are geniuses. At least
so
how I feel.
John, we heard a lot about arm wrestling. We heard a lot about what got you into the sport and your history. The second half of the show is about to come on. We have a couple of guys that are going to be competing at Steve's next event. So in the name of the spirit of rivalry that you and I have, we're going to give these guys the floor. But before we do, I wanted to ask, what's something that not many, or maybe not a large group of people, may know about you that you want to share?
Oof.
A fun fact about John Hutchison.
A fun fact about John Hutchison. Oh boy. What's a fun fact about me? Man.
That you beat Dan.
Yeah. I smoked Dan. Easy win. Easy day.
Touche.
I was just thinking it. I didn't want to say it, but I was like, I gotta say it.
No.
That's evil, man.
Basically, everything about me is pretty much up front and out there, man. I'm just someone that loves to train, and I love to fight. Like not fight like in fist fight, but like
no, be in there.
I like to fight. I like to get up there and prove that everything that I put in is better than what you put in.
Yep.
And if it's not, then I know that I put it out there, and I'll just be like, man, damn, he did a good job. But I still I love to win. And other than that, it's like between that, I like to fish and I like to train, man. I love to train.
Okay, I'm gonna throw you under the bus about this one then. Doesn't your household have an interesting set of pets?
Oh yes. I have an interest. Yeah, I have several pets. I have 9 pets.
Okay, what do you got?
What type of pets you have?
I have a couple dogs, 3. I have 3 cats. I got a snake. I got a couple. I don't even know if we'll say this on. I have a couple raccoons. I had a couple kids.
Yeah. That was the one right there that I found interesting.
I would say that's something interesting.
Yeah. It just goes along with my wife likes to rescue animals, and nice. Sometimes they hang out for longer than expected, but it's all good.
I'm a big animal lover myself, man. So
I got a ton of animals. Yeah, I mean that's about it for me. I mean, I like being outside. I like to train. That's about it for me. I'm pretty simple.
Nice.
Before we bring in the cavalry, John, do you have any questions for us?
I mean, I don't think so. Just I hope you're really strong and ready, because I'm nasty right now, and it's only going to get better. Like, I don't want. I don't know
if you haven't seen of late that I have a whole new access to. In the chat, Dan Citrella secured us a whole bunch of new gym equipment that I've been utilizing each and every practice, and everyone's leveling up, but like people are telling me like it's no longer fair. You're just sitting there and you're like, I'm looking at you and I'm breaking sweats and I'm just sitting there like casually, comfortably, just holding, and I'll go into the negative and then just peel them over And I gotta tell you, man, it's all in the name of getting ready for you.
That's good. You have to bring your highest level you've ever had for sure.
Oh,
But
definitely
I've
going to
seen your
be.
training stuff. I've peeped everything. You know, I'm always watching because last I need you showing up like 190, traps hanging out. I'm like, oof. But yeah, I watch everything arm wrestling. So I've seen all your equipment. It looks really good. But yeah, I can't wait for that match. And by then I think that I'm gonna do a couple practice matches to make sure everything's worked out good and I feel awesome. But so far I think I'm on the right track to be my best ever. But by then for sure. Like
I mean,
I think right now I'm already stronger than I was then for sure. But like I'll be at a good level.
that's good to hear, man, because I hope so. I gotta tell you, I actually started lifting weights. So like that's a fairly new in the last month, 2 months. I've been in the sport for almost 5 years, a little under 5 years, and this is the first time I'm actually habitually on a weightlifting routine, and it's skyrocketed a lot for me.
It's gonna make you strong. Just don't let it make you slow.
Oh, don't worry. Slowness is not something I'm too concerned with either.
Okay.
On my off days, I'm not lifting those heavy weights, and that's the thing. I'm not even lifting that heavy. I'm just lifting consistently.
It don't require crazy heavy weights.
No, it really doesn't. It makes a world of difference for comfort level down the road. But yeah, I work speed off table and off screen. My speed is definitely not lacking.
Yeah, I worked all my speed on the table.
I gotta travel for that, so we gotta see who Steve can set me up with. So John, you're welcome to stay on with us. We're gonna be bringing on the other guys. They're sitting in the back room right now, waiting to be let on. They're foaming at the mouth to unleash some hell on us right now. And I'm just gonna open up the floodgates, man, and let them all in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Then I got to go in there and do some stuff with the animals.
There you go.
You want to introduce them?
Sure. So we got Kevin Malcolm. You're from upstate, correct?
No, I'm from PA.
PA. Oh, that's right. Okay, you're from PA. We got going up against A Train, which is one of my training partners.
Yeah, bone down on the bottom down there.
Down on the bottom.
Andrew, I can't even fucking see you, Andrew. You're so far away. Jesus.
He's so far away, man. Like the Godfather sitting back there. Jesus.
You look like you got a tiny head, and I know you don't have a tiny fucking head.
No, he definitely does not. Turn your phone, man. And then we also got Cam Demet, which I've had the pleasure of meeting over at Knuckles Up. We got to pull a little bit. Facing off against.
I don't want to talk about that. We're not talking about that.
Caleb Johnson. So thank you guys for joining us on the show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
So, any words of contention? Anything you guys want to say to your opponents? You got them on the screen right now. Anything you want to tell them? Let's start with you, Caleb. You look like you got something you want to say.
Nothing. I'm really excited. Actually, I'm super excited. It's gonna be an awesome match. It's gonna be super hype.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know my left is better than my right?
Oh yeah.
All right. I just want you to know that.
Yep.
Caleb's been wanting this match since the last time they pulled. They pulled the 10th annual New York State Championship right-handed, and Cam ended up winning. But people don't get and don't understand how good his left is. But at the same time, Cam is a lot stronger on his left. You know, he's no joke. So I give Cam a lot of respect for him going up against how old are you, Caleb? 16 years old?
Yeah, just turned 16.
He just turned 16 years old. I'm saying the kid's going to be a fucking prodigy. You know, by the time he's going to be 5 years, I'm saying it's going to be on a different level, you know. So I give Cam a lot of respect for taking Caleb on like that, and Caleb taking Cam on too as well, because Cam's no joke, you know. So this is going to be a good match. People think that, you know, Cam's going to fucking go over Caleb with no problem. People think that Caleb's going to fucking eat up Cam with no problem. This is going to be a good match. This is going to be a better match than people think. This is actually going to be the first match of the day to open everything up. So, you know, reason being,
a match right there. Oh man, if Steve puts you on the opening, that's gonna means it's gonna be a real good match. It can go either which way. Cam, I know you were really banged up when I ripped up with you, like really banged up, but I felt that there was some power to you, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you have there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'll be interested. I mean, I know it's going to be a completely different match than it was right hand, but I mean, I don't see either of us flashing each other. So I mean, I think it's going to be a good battle. I think it's going to come down to arm wrestling and not just to hit.
yeah, I think to be honest, I think Caleb's got the hit on you, but because he's fast as fuck, that I know.
Yeah,
but
he can't leave his hand behind. He can't leave his hand behind. Because that's what I want.
I think you're going to be able to catch him. I think you're going to end up catching him. Is what's going to happen, and that's going to be a fight from there. You know, so. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's going to be, I think, one of the best matches, you know, of the day.
Just don't. Caleb, it's okay to start every round in the straps. I won't be offended if you just want to start in straps. You know, save the BS. You know, slip in and all that. We can do it, however. I don't care.
Love it. Ooh, fighting.
Cam doesn't realize.
That's
Cam does not realize.
Yeah. Who do you train with? Who do you train with, Caleb?
Iron Link Arms with Matt and Ethan, and you know all of them. Steve.
Yeah. You guys are upstate, right?
No, we're in Vermont.
Vermont. Why don't I think any of you guys were from upstate? Damn, you pulled from really far and wide, Steve.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are the best players around, man. And Cam, who do you pull with?
Kraken Arms. Group of guys come to my house every week. Just grip and rip. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a good group of guys. You have Steve Redler, Clearwater there.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of power in that garage.
Yeah, a lot of power in that garage.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Malcolm, who do you train with, man?
Team Predator down there.
That's
Allentown, PA. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
That's an old
a lot of technicality. Yep. Yeah. Androvich, Brown. Yeah. A lot of experience in that room. Every time I go in there, I learn something new. So.
You don't have a big enough brain to absorb anything, though.
Yeah. All right. Look at
you down there. Andrew, you know I'm saving you for last for a reason.
Listen, I just got off work. I had a very, very long, hard day. And I'm just thinking February 8th will be a very easy day for me. I'll be looking forward to it. Listen, all jokes aside, I have a lot of respect for Kevin. So it's not just about the insults. He has impressed me. I met him at what I think was like my first or second tournament. Didn't know what I was doing. I'm still figuring out, I think, as many of us are. But from where I met him to where he is now, and I've seen him mostly at Steve Fernandez's events, the guy's pulling pro. So for somebody new like me coming into arm wrestling and seeing that he's pulling pro and doing well, one could look at that as, you know, intimidating. I see it as aspiring. Knowing that I've beaten this jabroni before already, we've gone back and forth, but he's gotten very strong, and people I think are dodging him. I know he was looking to get set up with a super match, and
people are dodging him.
People are dodging him, and I can't figure out why, man. And to me, that's going to be a fun match, right? He's going to break your straps. He's going to break your table.
Yeah, no, he's not breaking these straps.
He's gonna eat all your food.
No, he's not breaking. I got an 1.5 inch wrap with a metal buckle. You're not breaking these straps.
All right, good.
What about the table?
No, he's an exceptionally strong puller.
We got good tables going, so the tables that we're going to be using are going to be
good. Who's refereeing? Who's refereeing?
Ray Romanowski and Ron Singley, Ron Aconda.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, good refs too. Yeah. All right, I asked because I mean, I don't know if he'll admit it in front of you guys, but Kevin is a big cheater. So fun fact, we listened to the fun fact about John, which I respect. I'm an animal lover too. Fun fact about me, I grew up with Rottweilers, and now in the background you can see I got my little
cat,
my little kitty cat. Yeah, I love that dude, man. I love my cats, man. That's one thing about me. I love my cat. But listen, Kevin's a violent puller.
I love that.
He's bucking the table. He's very exciting to watch. So I wanted to take the match because seeing how far he's come, and I really do, truly, Kev, I do respect it. Yeah, a lot of respect to you. Like I said, I typically, when I'm not going against him, I'm rooting for Kevin. But this time around, him and I going up against each other, fresh arm for fresh arm is really exciting. I know he's got a very good training club. He's got access to some real highly intelligent pullers. So it should be interesting. I think he's got a lot of advantages or even favored. I was disappointed. I looked on his Facebook and I see guys commenting on his picture of us saying that I'm the underdog. Real surprising, man. I don't know why. Maybe because he's 330 pounds. I don't understand.
Yeah, how much you rank?
I will say 320.
I'm gonna sit there and say, even though he may have a whole army to train with, we have a Cruz. And I know Andrew's put some time on the table with Paul Cruz of late. Even like 5 minutes with Paul Cruz, that man has a lot of power and a lot of knowledge to offer. I think that's definitely going to be something that's going to, even the playing field big time.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm really excited to be back into arm wrestling. So, being on the sidelines hurt for as long as I was, resting the wrist. John was speaking about it earlier. Don't arm wrestle or don't pull while you're hurt. When you're new, like myself, you don't realize everything hurts, right? But then you start distinguishing the differences between this is like short-term soreness, new soreness versus, this is a little bit more than just the typical after workout soreness. So it took me a couple months to realize, oh shoot, I got something serious going on, and went to an orthopedic, and then been doing rehab. So when Steven was talking about this match, I was thinking to myself, really, out of all people, you got to put me up against this big buffalo who's going to be trying to rip my arm off. Meh. But you know what? I've never backed down, bro. Listen, at work and in my personal life, I'm just a problem solver. So Kevin, February 8th, he's a problem. I've got the solutions. I plan on solving it. No question about it.
I know that it's this has had to happen already a long time ago. I already saw it over and over again happen when you guys weren't fresh. So being both of you guys that you're going to be fresh, going up to the table, Kevin, the intensity that he puts on the table, especially the size of this fucking guy, and almost I want to say every time I had to get a new fucking piece of fucking plywood every single.
You have to get insurance, honestly. You got to put
because
insurance.
He tears my fucking table off the fucking plywood. So this time I got better tables, better plywood, helper tables and stuff and everything else, which is great, specifically for fucking Kevin. And I think Andrew is going to be someone that fresh for fresh is going to be a little bit different. Kevin, the intensity that he shows, and Andrew, the way that he pulls is completely different. But I think it's going to be one of the best matches. It's going to be one of the biggest matches, probably the most that's going to be the weight on the table, I'd say, for today. So it's definitely a great heavyweight match, and we'll see what happens because I know Andrew since day one. I think you have the winning lead here on tournaments, right? Is that true, Andrew?
I don't know, Kevin. Is that true? Or have you been counting?
I think you're like 4-2 against me. You know, after I pull all the way through pro and then meet up with you, it's just real tired usually. You know, so
but like I was saying,
excited, we're gonna get it first thing as soon as we get there, get it out of the way, and then we'll hear about it for the next year or two.
Well, that's why I want to see fresh for fresh, because sometimes you guys pull a lot heavier pullers before you pull each other, so you don't really know who's going to be doing who at what time and who's. So it's seeing both you guys fresh for fresh is going to be a good match. So.
Yeah, I don't think this will ever be settled. Unless Kevin is peaking. I'm certainly far from peaking. I'm so new into the sport. I'm still surprising myself when I say surprising myself, getting into an angle or a position and I'm like, oh, this doesn't hurt anymore. That's when I'm saying, that's how new I am. These elbows are trying to build up to those of the professionals. And quick question for John. How long have you been arm wrestling?
About 4 years.
All right, yeah. See, that 4 to 5 year mark, I think a lot of arm wrestlers that I've met are around that range, that pandemic arm wrestler.
Yeah.
And I wish, man, my wife and I both work in healthcare, so my pandemic experience was chaos. But I wish I had started back then. But I had a question for you, which was number one, how do you stop a flop wrist presser that's 320 pounds? And then also, how do you keep the guy that I'm going up against? He's got a very long upper body. It's funny looking, but he's got a very tall upper body and he's always leaning over the center line. Steve, is there any way we can put like a mark on the center so we can make sure that he's not, over that line?
What I can tell you is having Ray
watching the elbow.
We'll have Ray and we'll have Ron Singley there, which I press myself. So Ron does not let me go over the fucking center line, so he's very cool with that.
All right.
But I don't know how it's going to handle a 320-pound fucking flop wrist presser. That's a different.
I know.
Weight class, but
I know. So, John, a little advice for me, man. How what's a good plan of attack against? He sit up a little bit, Kevin. Let show your.
He doesn't look as big on camera. He's making himself look.
No, Kevin's not doing justice.
When you see Kevin, he's a massive fucking person. He's got a long arm. He's
long upper body.
Thicker. He's a big guy. He's a really big guy.
How tall are you, Kevin?
6'2", all
Good
torso.
Lord. Okay, yeah. So you got the little legs. Got it. Yeah, that's tough, man. To beat a flop presser,
and it's not 320 pounds of slob. I'm pretty quick off the go. I like to think I'm one of the quicker.
No, he is, unfortunately.
He is.
Yeah, to beat a flop presser, you have to control center. I mean, that's the only way I've ever known to do it. Is you got to really match center. You got to go the scary way. It's easy to try and run from everybody, but you try and run from a flopper, you fall into their trap because that elbow is going to beat your breaky every time. So if I'm going against a flopper, I'm going into their wrist line and I'm trying to come across them and trying to keep them right out of that shoulder.
Okay.
Because if he gets his shoulder there, you're going to be sitting like this, and you're not going to.
Well, John,
it's a long day.
Mm-hmm. He starts with he starts with his shoulder already there.
Too, that's where that whole forearm thing you had going on too.
Yeah,
what's that?
Your whole, you were complaining about your elbow a couple times after getting pressed. Hoping you've been training for that.
Well, I've been back to training for about a month now, and I would never take a match that I wouldn't feel ready for. Do I wish I had another month to prepare? Certainly, but that's out of respect for you because I know you've gotten stronger and everything else. And I would never take a match and feel like, well, I have 50% and this is all I'm going to give you. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. I am not where I would like to be because I can't make up for the 6+ months I was on the sidelines, watching and trying to recover. but I'll tell you, I'm very happy with where I am now. Having that injury has forced me to work different areas and strengths, and I've developed those. So I think you'll be pleasantly or disappointingly surprised at what I've gained.
Looking
So
forward.
two things. One, you'll
Yeah.
never feel like you'll never feel like you trained enough.
Mhm.
You're always going to be like, man, I should have just done something a little bit more. I wish I was stronger there. Going into it, you're never ready. Like you're ready, but there's always something you wish you're like, if I had a little more time. But that
Mhm.
6 months off could have been the best thing you've ever done because being healthy is the most important thing. Even if you took 4 months off training, it's better than you training and being hurt. So you're probably stronger now. Your gas tank's probably slow, a little worse. But
Mhm.
if you have your ability to apply your power, because your body will stop you from applying your power. If there's an injury, it will stop your ability to go that direction a little bit.
I agree.
It
Yep.
just happens.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
if your elbow's jammed up real bad, you cannot go sideways that you want to. Your body ain't gonna let you. Like you can still go, but it won't be the same.
Right.
So
Mhm.
so if you feel healthy, then you're probably in the best spot you can be, and I'd be happy with that. But if he's flop pressing, you're gonna have to go a scary direction. So you have to go right into it and turn his hand a little bit and get him outside of that press. If he gets that palm down, I don't want him hanging off of me. I'm glad he's bigger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big scary dude.
I mean,
Definitely.
I want to
yeah,
hear a little bit more from.
Definitely going to happen. Is we're going to go 5 guys afterwards, get some nice burgers. Every single tournament.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Gotta
switch
make
it
up.
up. Maybe we'll switch it up and try something else. But
I think there's a Chipotle down in there too. In there.
yeah, I know that's fancy for you PA boys. Maybe we'll try something else. We'll get like
Cosmos.
we'll try something else.
Mhm.
Maybe a steak or something because we're both going to be celebrating. We're both going to be celebrating. I
now we're
guarantee you that you're definitely not winning 2. So I'm coming home with a ring. That's the only thing I haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, I'll have to give you
Definitely.
one after I get them both.
So let's hear a little bit more from Caleb and Cam.
Yeah.
I want to hear a
How
little bit
heavy
more
are
from you guys.
are you two? Sorry.
I didn't catch that.
What's the weight class for you guys? Caleb and Cam.
We've set 208 weight cap, so
Okay.
anything under. I'll be probably around. I'll be probably 208.
Caleb looks smaller on camera. He's actually pretty tall.
No, I can see his hands. He ain't small.
Yeah, no.
I was just hoping he wasn't close to me in weight because I don't want to deal with that ever.
Yeah, he's good. They're good. It's gonna be a good match. What do you think is gonna? I want to hear something from Caleb. What do you think is gonna happen, Caleb? What's your outcome?
It could honestly go both ways. It's gonna be super close. We both think we're gonna win, but I don't know because I know Cam thinks he's gonna win, but it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close.
Do you have any idea what you think Cam's gonna do?
He thinks that if he gets into a hook, it's over. So
That's what you think, or that's what he thinks?
that's what he thinks. Because he's told me a couple times, don't get in.
And how's your hook?
I've been working super hard on my supination and everything that involves that, and my hook has gotten a lot better, and my lock and just everything in general.
But what do? You top roll, you press, don't you?
I usually top roll, but I've been changing it up. I don't know. You'll find out.
Just be ready. Just pick something and stick to it. Don't be changing.
How long have you been arm wrestling for?
Don't change because when you hesitate, what's that?
What do
How
you
long
think?
has the kid been arm wrestling for?
It's going on 3 years. Going on 3 years.
Yeah, I've seen you, man. My outfit's inspired by you. I'm wearing my pajamas. I seen you wear your pajamas at the tournament.
Oh yeah, I'll be in my
That's
pajamas
awesome.
February 8th. It's a tradition now.
Hey, it's a sleepover.
There you go. I like
He's
it.
got the sleeper build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What do you?
No, you've
think?
been exciting to watch, dude. I've seen it. At Steve's events. It's kind of hard to believe you're that young and that like intense already. I'm jealous. I'm jealous, dude.
I wish I was
what
that
mean?
age going into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that Malcolm intensity. When he goes up there, he goes full tilt. You know,
Hi, Sophia.
You could tell, and you could tell.
Andrew said hi.
Cam, I was going to
Yeah,
ask
come say hi. Come on.
what do you think is
This is my coach
The cat.
Hey, what's up?
right here.
what do you think? How do you think this is going to end up? What do you think you need to go to beat Caleb?
I think it's going to come down to the setup. I'm going to control the setup. I'm not going to give him any options. If it goes my way, I'm going to lead it. I'm going to lead the dance. So, all of my matches that I've had left, I've rarely been slowed down so far. So, with how the right hand match went and how, the shape of my right hand compared to my left, I don't know. It's gonna be fireworks for sure. It's gonna be intensity and there's gonna be screaming and banging. And it's gonna be good.
Do you think
I'm thinking 3-0. I'm thinking I can 3-0, but
wow.
I mean it's gonna probably be closer than the score will say, but who knows? I don't plan on letting him pin me at all. So I don't even have that idea in my head.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
That's the best
Take
advice
his
I've
hand.
heard yet.
Take his hand.
Good
That's a
plan.
great
That's
plan.
a good
That's
plan.
a really good plan.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it for a while now.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna take that one.
Let me ask you: is there a position or something? Do you think he's not going to be able to do anything in the hook with you, or is that what you think?
I mean, I think if either of us get set in a position that we're comfortable, I don't think the other one's going to be able to. It's going to be tough. But yeah, no, I don't think he can power through me. I don't think he can hook me if I don't want him to hook me. I think I can control where he's able to go. So if I'm comfortable, maybe I'll, we could dance. We could do wherever. I don't care. I don't care. My left is good. My left is good for the match.
Have you guys ever pulled each other before, or you have no experience of each other?
Just right hand they pulled.
Well, we did a little practice table at the last event, but we don't have to talk about that, Caleb.
Just like we don't have to talk about
just like we're not talking about knuckles up. We're not talking about that either.
Fair enough.
Cam loves to talk his shit. I'm just a humble guy.
Yeah, it makes it more fun though.
I know.
Keeps things interesting.
It's a lot of fun pulling guys like him in the after pulls because I feel like he, no matter how tired he is, he still dives right in in the after pulls. He's got a motor.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all if you give him that runway to make that hit. If you give him the space, he'll take it. And I found that out the second round. I think it was the second round of our right hand match. They slept for 2 seconds and then bang.
Caleb, were you just drinking a Red Bull?
Oh, he's a dry guy. That's me too. I live off that shit.
Man, I'm just trying to relax, and I'm just seeing the caffeine over there. I'm like, wow.
It's caffeine free.
Yeah, it's caffeine free.
Oh,
I don't need any of that right now.
Yeah.
It's caffeine free.
So,
John,
John,
got you.
John, based on the little bit back and forth you saw here, what's your take on the matches? I know you don't know these guys through a hole in the wall yet, but
Just from personality wise, yeah. Hold your big old hand up, Caleb. Yeah. See, I bet he's fast as hell.
He's so fast.
Yeah. So, how old are you, Cam?
Cam, how old are you?
how old are you?
Oh, me? I'm 32.
Oh, yeah, that's a good age. Yeah.
Years
Same
young.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. I imagine he's gonna have more raw power, just based off age. But those young guys, man, we have one down
I was
here
a mechanic. I was a mechanic for 15 years.
I have 13 years, so yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're strong as hell.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cam, it is going to be the raw power, and it's going to be the speed. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, just based off how I see usually the young guys pull, they're super aggressive and can like flash pin anybody. We had a guy down here named Jarrett Ryan that does it. at 54, and he's 17 years old, Florida State champion already, and he hits with like a ton of bricks, does not care about his frame, goes all in, and he beats people that you're like, there's no way he's like
But not only
that
that,
strong.
he'll set you in the middle, right center, for you to hit. I saw you with Dave Seaton. I was looking at you and Dave Seaton, Caleb. So
But-
he was sitting there, and he likes to almost see what he has, then pull out. So he's calculated. You know, for a young guy, he knows what he's doing. He's strong. He's fast.
How was that again, Steve? How was that again? Like this?
Yeah.
But focus. February, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this.
Just based off it.
You think you're gonna take his hand?
Oh yeah.
How long you been pulling, Cam?
3 years.
Okay, so
about the same as Caleb.
Yeah. So I mean, just out of pure guessing, I would say, with the age, I would probably say Cam would probably be just a slight favorite over just overall power. Just it happens,
Right.
and but intensity wise, it's hard to beat someone that's jacked up on 16-year-old testosterone. Good Lord.
And 5 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
But he's polished up like 5 Red Bulls when it's game day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'd probably lean that way. And then in the other match, man, if Kevin's flop presser, that's hard to beat if he's good.
He's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to beat that, especially if you haven't done it or if you don't practice against it. And even then, it still sucks. And if someone's really good, there's nothing you can really do. We have a guy named Robbie Bishop, who's the best I've ever seen in person do it. I've seen him get a pin on John Theory and everything. And if he can get there, if you're good at it, long arm, and you can pull through the palm of your hand, it's gonna be hard to beat someone that can do that 320 pounds. So I'd probably say Kevin's a favorite, but the road game's strong. So down there, so I don't know. But it seems like exciting matches. I'll have to watch this.
You know what's crazy though? You know what's really hard to believe?
A little bit more. I think Andrew's got a little bit more power, and Kevin's got a little bit more speed. Not that Kevin doesn't have any power because he's got a lot that comes behind him. But I think when it comes to hand and a little bit more technique, I think I'm going to give the favorite to Andrew. But at the same time, Kevin, I think, is able to get in his lane. And if he is able to get in his lane with that amount of power and speed that he has,
that's all that matters.
It's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a clash right in the fucking middle. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it seems like all these guys are pretty dang close, which is exciting because it's hard to find close matches. Because even a close match can easily be 3-0. It happens all the time. It can be super close and be 3-0 just because you can't quite engage your power. And,
right.
And then on the after table, you pull them every which way and you beat them every time. But that one lane, they just shut you down.
Yeah.
And that's what I assume that Cam's going to try and do to Caleb is, control it, shut him down. Because you stop the hand, especially on a top roller. It makes for a long day, even though he's probably strong as hell. So on that match. Big guys are fun, so I like watching big guys pull because, man, it's like diamonds are getting created in there. They get all red-faced, it's hot and sweaty. It's good.
But I'm getting light over here, John. I mean, he's 320. I'm just in the 260s now.
Oh, yeah, you're just a baby. Yeah.
You're just
tiny little thing.
60 pounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna put a weight cap on Kevin because the guy can go from 320 to 360 in a month.
Hey, that's what I like to see. You come in 360, Kevin. I'm betting on you.
There you go.
I don't think my heart will take that.
Real quick, we got speaking of big guys, we got a couple people in the chat that's tuning in a little later. Jeremy Parker is in the chat. What's up, man? That's I think he's out of Arkansas. He's actually a training partner for Monster Michael Todd.
Mm-hmm.
We got Paul Cruz in the chat. What's up, Paul? You must have heard your name summoned you 3 times, and you're here. Dan Centrello's back in here, and we got Kong Garcia Francisco from Puerto Rico. What's up, man?
Guys,
thank you for tuning in, man. We shouted in the No Team Arm Wrestling beforehand.
What do you think, Dan?
What's up?
What do you think between don't be, one
Don't
sided
be biased.
Yeah. So
man. Well,
and
so with A-Train and Kevin, so I gotta say, if Andrew can execute, he's going to give Kevin a battle of his life and keep him out of the shoulder. But that's if he can execute. He's got to be on point with timing for that to happen. That's my real take on it. Because I think I've seen Kevin. I've seen the intensity. That man looks like he's gonna throw a freaking table across the room like King Kong. Or Rampage. That video game Rampage, throwing buildings and people out of buildings. I see him doing something like that. So, if he can match that intensity and not mess up in any regard with timing, it's going to be a train. But if he misses the timing, I think he's going to have the be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And I'm rooting for my boy though, because I'm working with him on timing. So it's everything in the setup and with a flop wrist. I think it's timing is everything. And to John's point, going into the deep water, the scary place is going to be where to go. Now for Cam,
before you give the prediction, I just Caleb, can you see this, Caleb? Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, visit's over. All right, what were you gonna say, Dan?
So with Cam, I think that I don't know enough about Caleb, but I do know, similar to what John was saying, his speed. His speed is definitely going to be a challenge, because I did pull with Cam even though he was tired. I felt a lot of power behind him, and he's got the mechanic hands, John.
These are the new ones.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Can't wait to try
he's got
it
those
on.
mechanic hands. So sometimes speed can get shut down with power, and that's going to be very interesting. And if Caleb doesn't fire up, another timing's of the essence, right? If you don't time it right, Caleb, you're going to be in deep waters. But if you time it just right, Cam, you're going to be the one that's going to be in deep waters.
Yeah.
So,
and if you think Caleb, if you think my left is like my right, like technically, you're going to be really surprised. Really surprised. Totally different setup, totally different intensity. I'm like a totally different person.
I'm looking forward to seeing the explosivity in person, man. It will be live streamed on Steve Fernandez's page. Yours truly will be setting up the cameras for that. Definitely check out the event page, because we'll be putting up the links in the live stream there, day of. Definitely just be ready. Everyone be ready.
Do you have the order of matches? Do we know this yet?
That's not going to be brought out yet. The only thing that matches that I can tell you that will be for now is going to be Caleb Johnson and Cam Dennett will start. They'll be first, and Miguel Fernandez and Bill Sinks will be the main event.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Shout out to Miguel Fernandez in the chat right now. So.
Oh yeah, Kevin, look out, man! You got Miguel chasing after you too.
I don't want to pull Miguel.
I think he's
That's
joking around. I think he's joking around.
Miguel's a table bully, man. I always call him a table bully. He always comes up to me and goes, "Let's pull." I'm like, dude, you're going to rip my arm off, man.
Miguel's such an aggressive and intensive person when he's at the table. It's like, I love that shit though, man. He's
quiet as a mouse when he's eating Five Guys.
Without a doubt.
But
he's scary on the table too.
Kevin's like that too, and that's what I like too, man. I mean, he's a great guy. Always, great person.
He's a cheater, dude.
He
cheats, bro. No. Hey, funny story. Funny for him, not funny for me. We were in a ref script, and I forget the referee's name. He grabs my hand, closes my hand. I'm fully relaxed. I let him close my hand. He cups my hand in. Kev's sitting there above and goes, he's carving. And the guy goes, foul. And he laughed at me. He's a cheater.
Just got to get in your head, man.
Cheater.
Just got to get in your head.
That's too fun.
You don't need to cheat for little old me, man.
It's too easy, man. Get in your brain.
Nah, listen. I can't wait to bang.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to competing in the actual tournament too, because there's going to be stacked in, I think, in many different divisions. Steve's got, this is his second year of tournaments, so
2 great years.
They're going to be, amazing turnouts and an amazing expectation of who's going to be showing up. Monsters across the Northeast will be showing up. I look forward to being up, shoulder to shoulder with these guys. And John, stay tuned, man, because you're gonna see a form of me that I haven't even seen yet. So,
and when is that?
That's June, February 8th.
Oh, wait! I didn't realize you guys were having a match.
No, not here.
Ours will be the middle of the year.
Yeah,
he needs time.
July, any time of the year, honestly, but July is what it looks like it's going to be. It's going to be happening.
Okay.
So we got some time between now and then. Planting those seeds now.
Where is this?
I'm going to probably happen in Florida. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down to his backyard and beat him up.
Well, that's my
come down, and
home.
I'll do it in New York Smoke Super Match Series. You guys can come down. You can come down here, John.
Hey, we can do it. We can figure that out for sure.
If you're just gonna do it in your backyard, I'll do it at a venue.
No, it'll be at a tournament if we do it here.
Okay. No, I mean like in his own backyard. Meaning I'm gonna come to his Florida, neighborhood, beat him up, and then leave him out to dry.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen down here, man.
And then afterwards, I'm gonna go wrestle a gator and get me some gator jerky.
Hey, I'm from the swamp. We can go do that.
But where? Where in Florida are you from?
Me, Polk City, which is right in Central Florida. Probably like an hour south of Orlando.
Polk City, not Polk County.
That's the heart of Polk County, Polk City.
Okay, all right. Listen. I'm familiar. I'm from Florida. I'm from Vero Beach.
Oh yeah, that's kind of Florida.
I've been to Polk County. I used to do car audio and stuff like that. Did some tournaments out there. Yeah, I'm a Florida boy. My heart's still in Florida. My wife's in New York, so.
Yeah. But I'm down. I'm gonna have to get to one of these tri-state events here.
Man.
Listen, I'm coming down to Florida this for next month, February 21st. I'm gonna go see my baby niece. My brother just had a baby, him and his wife, and I told Dan and some other guys that 2025 I'm looking to try and travel and meet new people, new practice groups, and I want to go to Puerto Rico, arm wrestle with those guys, but I would love to be able to link up when I'm in Florida on vacation and just travel a little bit. Polk County is not too far. My hometown was an hour and a half to Orlando, so I know you're in the middle. You're probably less than an hour from me with your club. That would be great. That would just kind of be nostalgic too, because like I said, I'm truly a Florida boy, beach guy at the heart of all this, but
we're not planting a spy.
Looks like I'm a New Yorker
John,
now. I can't get out of it.
We're not planting a spy for me.
No. I'll be
don't matter.
I'll be going selfishly for me, man. The year 2025, I'm all trying to get better. And you said something earlier. You wish you would have known certain things or took your training different or practiced differently because you want to expedite your learning and arm wrestling experience. 2024 for me was trying to arm wrestle as much as possible. And I learned a lot about arm wrestling, but 2025 now is going to be how can I maximize each training session? And I'm looking for efficiency. I want efficiency.
Yeah. Stay injury free and travel to compete. My big, because the two biggest learning things I've ever done in my life was pulling CUBB armbender in California and then going to Puerto Rico to pull Dan and Wesley out there, because I learned more about myself on the table and those two events than anything else I've ever done on the table, because you pull the same guys all the time. You kind of know, okay, he's top rolling, but you know he rolls this way, or this guy's going this way, whatever. But when it's out somewhere else and you don't know the crowd, you don't know anybody, and you really have to go out there and learn on the fly, that's when I think you really learn the most. And it'll jump you up and you're like, oh wow, I am good there, or no, I really need to fix this. And usually it's I need to fix this is usually what you get out of it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. My first year, I would study my losses more than any win.
Yeah, don't be
I
scared
would-
to go 0-3 because it's going to happen again.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
again,
just
and
not
again.
February 8th. February 8th, I refuse. I got to get one off of this guy at least.
One off.
But
No, you got to beat him. But
yeah,
No,
I
do you have a
need
club or
to
team?
beat him. But if you do beat me, Kev, you better enjoy it, bro, because only a month back into training. If it's even remotely close, that'll be the last time you beat me.
hey, sometimes guys come off of absence the strongest. Your weight's might not be as strong, but your table strength might be really dumb.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Trust me, he's definitely a good test. I've seen him flop press pros, and I think why are you still pulling amateur? You're cheating. Well, stop pulling amateur. Steve,
He doesn't
yeah.
pull
An audience,
He doesn't
he
pull
can't pull
amateurs
amateur
anymore.
anymore, bro.
He doesn't pull amateurs anymore.
Well, he's pulling me.
Yeah, but you can't pull amateurs either.
Yeah. Just get rid of amateurs altogether and combine
Both
them.
you guys are done.
Steve, he's never going to get another gold at one of your events again. Then
Both of you guys are done with amateurs. Right after that super match, right on February 8th, you guys are both. Well, you could pull semi-pro.
are you going to start having semis?
Yeah, I've been having the last tournament I did with semis too. It was novice, amateurs, semis, and pros.
Oh, yeah. I think the heavyweights got collapsed.
Yeah, but it's always semis and novice.
I'm gonna try to drop down to 242.
See, he's already trying to run from me. We didn't even get to
Yeah, then you got to play with Paul Cruz, man. Good luck.
Yeah, Paul Cruz. He's definitely a bucket list guy.
And how's
I mean-
Roger too? Roger's around that way too.
Yeah.
Dude, Kevin almost beat Roger that day. What that was. I replay that. Do we remember that? I mean,
Yeah.
Kevin had Roger all the way on the B side of the table,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, Kevin. Again, remember, I'm always rooting for him, but I was wow, I was impressed. He took Roger because Roger's no joke, right?
Yeah, no, Roger's no joke. That's what I'm saying. You can't pull AMs anymore, Kevin. If I ever see you pull AMs,
Yeah,
again,
dude. Leave us alone, Kevin.
You too, Andrew. Stop. You too. What are you talking about? You're
They told
definitely
me,
not pulling
hey,
ever amateurs.
hey.
Right after the super match, you're going straight into semis. Like right there.
They told me pros it takes you 3 years. After 3 years, you can do pro.
That's depending on
Why should I be any different?
If you're good enough to be in a pro class, you mean then that's a different story. Like
It's just an arbitrary number too.
Kevin's pulling Roger, okay, and almost beating Roger. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like you said, Caleb is 16. Do you guys know this? Is probably the most surprising thing you hear all night. Kevin is only 6 years older than Caleb, dude.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yep,
22.
23.
22. Bro.
So that gives you more reason to beat
When's your
him now.
when's your birthday?
Old man
When's your
strength.
birthday?
On the first.
On the first?
Yep, be 23.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
23. Oh.
Wow.
He doesn't care about his
23
body.
Connor.
He doesn't care about throwing himself over the table.
Full tilt. That's what it is.
Steve, just make sure you get a permission slip
Indestructible.
from Caleb. Just make sure.
Oh, God.
And before me next, too. I'm trying to avenge.
There'll be food there too, so your mom doesn't have to pack your lunch.
Hey, listen, you better bring extra. Steve, pizza's gone. He didn't even leave any for his girlfriend, Steve.
No,
I was sitting next to his girlfriend.
I got a bunch of stuff coming, so we'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
great.
right.
You got to get Crazy Train on the food, too.
Listen,
Ready.
Crazy
That
Train
man
brings
loves
those.
to cook, man. You just
those
let
are
him go. He'll still bring like
cra-
300 sandwiches with him.
Crazy Train packs a bunch of hand sandwiches. just makes them all, bro. He's the nicest, sweetest guy, bro. I want shout out to Beast Mode because I'm looking to go out and train with them. I do want to go out and train with
Beast
them.
Mode's a good training ground to go to. Here, guys, if everybody wants to check them out, they actually have a new training site too.
Would you have that
Of
on
the
deck?
gym.
Did you plan this?
Me?
How
No,
did you have that so quick?
because I haven't saved up, man. I got them saved up.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hey, shout out to Predator. Shout out to Predator.
Yeah,
You got another one?
I gotta get them up there too. Yeah, next time I'll make sure I have them up. But also, I'm going to share with everyone. This is right here. Our boy John's Garage Grinders Facebook page.
Oh,
Check
I
it
love
out.
that
It's
Hey,
name,
free.
John, do you have a group of people you train with?
Yeah. It's my team. Garage Grinders. You can go to the team page on Facebook, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram if you're ever down.
Dan, why don't we go up against John and his team for the fucking City Slickers? What the fuck?
That would be fucking legit.
He's in Florida.
Yeah, you better bring some good guys.
Are you kidding me? We'll smash you, John.
That would be.
Florida ain't no joke. No, Florida's different.
Dude, I'm bringing Paul Cruz. I'm bringing Steve.
You better.
Walker. I'm saying we're gonna.
And we got history.
John, I'm saying I love you guys.
Steve.
I love you, but we're gonna smash.
Steve.
Hey, bring
Steve,
anybody.
Me and John have history, so that's an already given match right there.
Oh, I already know this. That's already a match
Yeah.
done. That's a done match.
Yeah, you better bring some good guys. And I might have to pull. I don't have a lot of the bigger guys on there because, but I can pull a couple guys.
What's your weight, John?
Me, I'm 191 right now, but I pull 76. I'm just trying to.
You don't want to pull my 190. You don't want to pull Vlad. Vlad will smash you.
That's
No,
okay.
Vlad will
I'll
rip his arm off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vlad will smash you.
That's okay. I got a guy for him.
Vlad will rip off everyone's arm for 200 and below, and even 240 and below.
Yeah.
Not in Florida.
Oh, yes, he will, because he already done it.
To who?
Didn't he beat what's his name?
don't know it.
Lestros?
Behringer, I think you beat Behringer.
Oh, Behringer.
It's not Florida, is it?
No, I thought it was in Florida that he did.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
I think it'll be fun, John. What do you think? We could do some. That'd be great.
Well, I don't want that guy, but another guy, yeah.
No, I'm talking about. We'll bring everybody on like I did before, from 154 all the way up to 243 plus, and we'll have 155 plus women's, which I have Madison Walker.
Okay. Well, the only woman out here that really trains that with me is Sarah Backman, so that's a no.
I mean, I've been telling Madison she needs to chase after Sarah. She needs to put Sarah on her crosshairs. I think let's say after Virginia.
Sarah beats me most of the time right now. She's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I have
That's
to
scary.
I got to hit the throttle because if I even give a second, she
I
beats
got
me.
news for you. Then you're in trouble if that's the case.
Nah, I'm still gonna kill you.
You're in trouble. Ask Mikey about how I was in Knuckles Up. Just ask him.
I watched it. I saw it all. I saw you pull Mikey and everything. I saw it. It was cute.
Yeah.
It was
cute. But practice pulling with me is way different than table me.
Yeah, we
No,
got.
I was playing nice.
I would love to put
Yeah,
that together.
I'm a really nice practice puller. I give a lot.
Can
But
you get down
on the
to
table-
176 though? Can you get down to
Yeah.
He'll be
179,
176.
176 with the 3 pound floating allowance? So
Oh yeah, 179 is a beautiful day. I've never cut to 79, but yeah, I'll make it there because I've always weighed like 174, stuff like that. But I'm just I'm pretty strong right now.
He'll make that class no problem.
yeah, that's what we do too. We do it every 10 pounds. So it'll be 154, 165, 176, 187, 198.
I can make 65 if the right situation.
You won't want 65.
You won't
guy.
want 65. We have Sam Mitchell. He'll smash you.
You don't want that. You don't want that smoke. Trust me. You do not. John,
You'll get stuck.
right and left. You will.
John wants everybody. John wants everybody between
I'll pull anybody
165 to
left-handed.
190.
Like
John, you got to beat me left-handed first before that happens.
I'm gonna hurt you left-handed.
Yeah, I like to see you try.
It's gonna be bad.
The left is. I've gained a little more confidence in the left, even though it's not the best. It's still. I'm pretty happy with where it's going.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good,
Steve.
but lefty's different. You'll see.
Some events they're going to be doing. They're making like a 270 or 260 weight class. Is that something that's in the cards for you?
That I was going to make?
I know. I've heard. I think it was the High Five guys.
High Five's doing it. Yeah, they're doing it this weekend.
Well, they're doing it because of the Arnolds. They don't normally do it. And they're not going to be, I don't think, normally going to be doing that. Because the Arnold's qualifier, I had to do the same thing. And that's where my weight classes were, too. So it was more on those are the qualifying classes that you can have when it's going to be at the Arnold's in Ohio. That's what they'll be. So that's why they have those classes to qualify for. But normally, I don't think those classes are going to be there.
Because that 243 to infinity, you know.
Yeah, it
that's why I
sucks
want
when
to
you weigh
get. That's why I want to get down.
245 pounds.
Yeah,
That does suck, don't it?
it does.
Lose
Yeah.
weight.
You got to give up the chicken cutlets.
Yeah.
Listen.
Now, do you guys have a problem where
you can start eating more pancakes, brother?
Listen, if there's no more, I would have to start pancakes, and I don't know about all that. Listen, I've been lucky, in the strength department, but arm wrestling is different. Arm wrestling, as everybody in this area knows, it's not about how strong you are, and there's a lot of things that a lot of variables like speed and rigidity,
Pain
joint
tolerance.
strength, ligaments. I mean, it's pain tolerance. Yeah, who's got more heart, who's ready to, or courage,
online.
bravery, or even stupidity. Who's willing to risk it all. I mean, my wife and I, are buying a home, and I'm thinking this guy's gonna try to rip my arm off, and I'm gonna have to do some painting March 1st when I close on this house. So I got to make sure I'm in good positions here.
don't start thinking like that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, after May, you won't have to worry about me anymore, Andrew. After May, I'll be out in Pittsburgh, so I probably won't be coming up this way too much anymore.
So, Andrew, just think of it this way: as you're painting, you'll have that nice ring to look at.
Yeah. It'll look good, man. That is a cool, man. Shout out to Steve, man. You've I've said this to you before. I'm looking in the corner. I've got some shiny things hanging over there, and you come a long way. That first award was kind of like an introductory, thing for you, but you've made it a priority to improve each venue, each tournament, and you appeal to the guys who are looking for a little bit of more acknowledgement or just something different, man. So, from a nobody to somebody, you're doing a good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's a big difference between the last Battle of Tri-State Awards to these awards. Did you guys see the awards?
I just seen it on your Facebook, man. It almost makes me want to do the tournament also. But now you're telling me I gotta do.
You gotta pull semi-pro at least. You gotta pull semi-pro. Same thing with you, Kevin. You gotta pull semi-pro. Cut that amateur shit, both of you. You guys are done with that. You're way too good.
You take a super match, you belong in semi-pro.
Yep.
Yeah, it's full pro. Be done with it.
And I said that if you're doing a super match for me, you got to pull at least semi-pros. As soon as you're done with your super match, you're pulling semi-pros. And you make it seem like both of you like you're not supposed to be there or something. Seriously.
No, it's some other guys that aren't supposed to be there. You got pros that pull down into semi-pro.
No,
I gotta say though,
that's a good thing.
I came around. All
right, John. I like the way you think.
Semi-pro, and I jumped right into pros from amateur because semi-pro was just started, and I was probably 9-10 months in, maybe a little bit more. And then I jumped into pros. I was like, why do I want to do semi-pro? I want to go. I don't care if I had to start at the bottom of the barrel and work my way back up to the top. That's my mentality. And I'm not saying that anyone else's mentality about semi-pros is wrong, but I'll tell you, for me, that's how I think I got really good because I was like, I don't care. I'm going to claw my way out of this shit, from the bottom. And, with that motivation, it helped me get better and better because I was taking losses. I'm not going to lie, I was. But
I'm generally hard on myself, so I'm very critical of myself. And I think that's just part of being a perfectionist and always wanting, to do more and be more.
No.
Yeah. So I probably don't give myself enough credit, but, I respect the sport. I'm trying to earn everything that, I can. I'm not looking for any handouts. I appreciate the super match. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I do agree with you. All jokes aside, I'm ready to I'm so happy to be back to training. Like you said it earlier, John, where you said there's nothing worse than a guy who likes to lift weights who can't lift weights or be in the gym.
Mm.
That was terrible. Sitting on the sidelines watching everybody, get stronger and progress, and I'm trying to develop like, hey, we can't grip up, but like let's do like a wrist to wrist thing, like just improvising just to keep some level of workouts going. It was like bittersweet, but I'm excited. A month back in training. I feel great. And I think in the next couple months, I'll feel even more confident about going and competing into the semi-pro and things like that. And I'm ready to take some lashings. I'm all about earning my stripes. So I'm ready to earn some stripes in a different department or different category. Totally fine.
Well,
Let's
you just
do
got to think
this.
about it. Are you chasing victory or are you chasing excellence?
Right, right. I'm definitely not
'Cause,
looking to be a trophy hunter. I know some
yeah,
guys. I'm not
if
that
you're
guy.
chasing victory, pull low. If you're chasing excellence, I'd pull pro
Yeah, yeah.
and just be
I'm
done
There you
ready.
with it.
go.
Because
2025 is a year for me
yeah,
and there on after to just be leveling up.
I'd rather go out there and get my ass whooped by two guys back to back that are just complete animals than go out there and the matches are fun, but you're facing other guys who are not as technically talented. Just
Mhm.
setting up with a guy that's been pulling in the pro division for 2 or 3 years compared
Yes.
to a guy in the semis or the amateurs. Right, I pulled amateurs for 2 tournaments in my first 6 months. I pulled 2 tournaments, and after that, I
Mhm.
didn't pull amateur again because like the setups and stuff, like you don't get the same pressures. So it's just kind of
Mhm.
like you're at practice. You grip up, close your hand. We don't know what the hell you're doing. But when
Mhm.
the first time you get really screwed in the setup with somebody and they hit that go before they say go because they're watching the mouth move on the ref and they take everything from you, and you're like, what the hell just happened to me? And
Right.
you got anything. That's where you learn the most. So if
I
you're
agree.
chasing excellence to be your best, I would just go ahead and skip all that. And I mean, of course, be safe, but I'd go in there and I would want to be pulling the best.
I agree. I couldn't
I
agree.
like you, man.
I
I
couldn't
like the
agree.
way you think.
Couldn't agree any
So
more than that. And I even
Brilliant way to put it.
talked to Caleb when I was in. Was it in Vermont or Massachusetts? Where was this? When I seen you, Caleb, when I was just like, "When you just start pulling pro, we'll start doing something. We'll start putting you into matches." And this was like, I remember because he was already every single fucking amateur. He was first, second, first, second, first, second. I'm like, what's the point? There's no point. There's no point of you doing that. You got to go up against. You got to go up against pros.
yep.
I was like, even pros, I said, I bet you'll still place, and he still did because he was that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just you see people progress and how good they are and where they should be, and then they realize it. And I think he's just getting so good so quick, and he's got such a good team that he trains with, and he's so young and he's got that young, that hungry, that hunger that when you're it's different, man. It's completely different, you know.
Just stay healthy and you're good to go.
Yeah, it
Yep.
really is, man. That's all you need. That's all you really need. But you know, him and Cam already gripped up before, right hand, and Cam, also has his left is on a different level. You know what I mean? And I know what he's talking about too. It's nothing like his right. You know what I mean? But for vice versa, same thing with Caleb. It's nothing like his left hand, but I think it's going to be one of the best left-handed matches we're going to have that night.
Cam, how long have you been pulling?
About 3 years.
All right, so
Yeah.
everybody's in that 3 to 5 year range.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
That's
did
great,
grip
man.
grip before though. So
Grip
sorry.
grip sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Mess
right.
around with grippers and stuff. And
Yeah, he does. He goes into like grip tournaments and shit.
Yeah, you hold on to shit and lift it up to make sure. I've seen some of that stuff.
yeah.
It's late, so my vocabulary's fading. I'm like, you do
Yeah.
some of that
Speaking.
grip shit, you lift it up. But I don't mean to
Pick things up and
minimize
put
it.
them
I've
down.
totally seen it.
You pick things up and put them down with a lot of
Yeah,
strength.
arm strength assassin. That dude Luke is making all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I have his table, and Meatball Mike let me borrow this spring trainer, and I was thinking about Kevin. I was fucking with it, man. Look, I was just thinking. I was like, this is like Kevin, right? And I was thinking just how I would stop that flop press with this fucking thing. So I just did that over the weekend. So I'm preparing for you, dude.
That spring works is beautiful wonders, man. I got one of those too. I've been working on it as well. Definitely helps tremendously with a lot of side pressure.
Yeah, I felt really good, man. So my elbow, wrists, they feel great. I'm excited. That spring though will test everything. Like you'll
Oh yeah.
quickly find where your weak points are or where you're vulnerable.
Well, gents, I think it's time to wrap it up. Anything else you guys want to shout out? Let everyone know what's going on. I will say, if you guys want to come to Long Island, come check out our training facility. It is a place called Clean Cut Fitness. It is a arm wrestling specific gym that has equipment that is made and tailor made for arm wrestling by Mithril Arm Wrestling equipment out of Kazakhstan. The same type of equipment you see Artem Morza working with. And you see Master Michael Todd, Brian Shaw. He's got those cupping machines over there. We have one of those as well. Compliments of Dan Centrella, who helped us all out by supplying all of this. So come check us out, guys. We have a really awesome state of the art gym right here in the Northeast on Long Island. Helps me get ready to rip John Hutchison's arm clean off of his shoulder, both arms, and just leave him just a wandering torso. Because that's what I'm going to do to him when I see him. Then I'll reattach him for him.
Message me later, John. All right, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I like to talk to you about that stuff anyways, because I like to check out the whole group up there. That'd be good.
Yeah, or we'll shoot
It's
down
not those crazy strong guys. I don't want to mess with those guys. I was joking about that. But I'll smoke Dan.
then you'll wake up.
Was it even close, your match? Because I'm not familiar with your match.
Yeah, it was very close. It was probably my closest match that I've ever had.
Yeah, it was 3-2, and we were both panting and dying, and I just keep-hoed to the side on the last hit and got a pin right off the go, because if it stopped, I probably wouldn't have been able to beat him. I was dead.
Monster side pressure.
It was like 40. Like he flashed me. Well, not. I guess he kind of flashed me. Like he went right over top of me in the strap, and then we were in like a 35-second war, and I beat him with a flop, and then he flashed me again. I almost caught you at the bottom. You pinned me, and then then I caught you outside the strap. Another like 40-second war. Just side pressure. I ended up sword rolling him, and then I just hit to the side and got a pin at the end. But it was super close.
Wow.
It was intense. It's on my Instagram.
I have to look you up. I gotta do better with social media.
If you get on there though, at least add me on Facebook. So if you come down here, if you can't practice with me, I can set you up with some people, because I know a lot of big practices, so I can make sure you get a good session in.
Listen, I very much appreciate that. That is something that I've set goals for, very important to me this year. So I would love to do that, especially any chance and any opportunity I can get back to my home state.
And
it feels
Florida's loaded with people.
I've seen that. I've seen a couple of yellow shirts, and I say yellow shirts of Florida State, Florida Arm Wrestling League. I've seen the guys at King of the Table, and you have his name's escaping me, but very impressive dude that beat Pablo. Speaking of pancakes, Murphy? No. What's his name?
Man, you beat Pablo?
Yeah.
Oh, Brad Grundy?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Brad, I'll be training him tomorrow, actually. I think he's going to be at practice tomorrow. I'm going to a different practice tomorrow than mine. But yeah, there's a lot of guys here. And every class is like ridiculous. 198, 76, 54. It don't matter. Wow. And then our supers are crazy.
How strong is Grundy?
If you take both your arms and you add like a come along to it, you might pin him.
Wow.
Grundy's a monster. He's an
how long has he been pulling? Like, was he just a natural?
4 or 5 years. 5 years, I guess, probably.
For 5 years, and you can be at that level.
Yep.
He's an anomaly. He trains in a pool or something. I don't know. He doesn't even lift weights or something. He's weird. He's crazy strong. He's so good. He's one of the most
Yeah.
technical guys I've ever seen on the table. If not him, then Dan Worley. Like those are the two most technical guys I've ever seen.
Yeah, I want to meet him.
Yeah.
I want to meet him.
Worley's
Yeah.
a monster too.
Yeah,
I would like to
Dan
meet you
coached
too.
me to beat Dan Schwartz. Like
That's cool.
in the match, he was my corner guy, and he's basically how I got that win.
Yeah, very talented man.
Yeah, he's so good with that. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. It's been awesome. I am going to end the show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Check out next week's show. And also check out practice. We still live stream our practices on Thursdays and Sundays.
Hey, good talking to everybody. Good meeting everyone. Kevin, I'll see you soon. And Caleb, good talking with you. Steve, always a pleasure. Cam, I've never met you before, but I look forward to introducing myself to you guys officially. And,
yeah, feels.
Yeah, man. Pleasure being on here. Pleasure meeting you, John.
Yes,
Dan,
sir.
always a pleasure. Steve,
Always a pleasure. John,
keep doing great
this is coming
things,
for
man.
you.
Thank you.
This is coming for you. I'll see you.